Composition is the glue that holds all other art topics together. It is the strategic arrangement of visual elements to create a harmonious result. Mastering this is the critical step where you transition from simply drawing what you see to actively designing what your viewer sees. To test your design, use the 3-second audit. When you finish a piece, stand 5 meters away and look at it for exactly 3 seconds. Does your eye land on the subject immediately? If not, your composition is struggling to capture attention. This typical portrait feels static. The artist placed the main subject, the mother and child, dead center in the centered subject trap. Without a clear leading line, the eye bounces randomly around the woven fence, unsure where to settle. Even if you render the lighting and textures of a local market flawlessly, the artwork fails if it doesn't give the viewer a clear map to navigate the page. We fix that static layout by moving the subject out of the dead center, using a classic framework, the rule of thirds. Divide your canvas with an imaginary grid of 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines. By cropping and shifting the frame to place the mother's face squarely on one of these intersections, the composition instantly gains energy. Every element on your page carries a specific visual weight. Look at the intense red of this vendor's shirt. Bright, highly saturated, warm colors carry massive visual weight. They advance toward the viewer, acting like a magnet for the eye. By contrast, cool, pale, or desaturated colors like blues and grays feel lighter. If we cool down the background elements, they naturally recede into the distance, yielding the floor to the bright red shirt. You are manipulating invisible weights. Controlling placement, size, and color intensity ensures your main subject is undeniably the heaviest element in the frame. Once you have their attention, you have to keep it there. You do this by embedding leading lines to deliberately guide the reader's gaze across the page. Geometric paths naturally direct traffic. Here, the curve of the green bananas and the angle of the vendor's arms form an S-curve. This creates a graceful, rhythmic flow that pulls your eye upward directly to his face. We also guide the viewer with implied lines. Notice the direction of the vendor's gaze. Because he is looking inward toward the bananas, your eye follows that invisible line back toward the center, preventing you from looking off the edge of the artwork. By trapping the eye within these paths, you turn a scattered collection of objects into a cohesive visual sequence. Beginners often leave a frame of empty space around their subject out of habit. Look at this photograph of a gray-crowned crane. While the bird is detailed, capturing its entire body makes it feel distant. You have to be bold. If we bring in a viewfinder and perform a full bleed crop, cutting off the lower wings entirely, we create the illusion that the scene continues beyond the paper. The bird suddenly feels larger and demands your full attention. You don't need to fit everything inside the frame. Aggressive cropping forces the viewer to focus exactly where you want them to, leaving the negative space to do the heavy lifting of framing the shape. This reveals the most critical concept in S4 art, the negative space doctrine. The empty air around your subject defines your subject. Look at this portrait. The background is almost entirely void of detail. This negative space provides authority, allowing the face's complex textures to command attention. Before you pick up a brush or cut any fabric, commit to a structural plan. That's why every project begins with a thumbnail study. Draw 3 tiny 5x5 centimeter boxes. In the first thumbnail, try perfectly symmetrical balance. In the second, try asymmetrical balance using the rule of thirds. In the third, focus on an extreme zoomed-in crop. Working small removes the fear of messing up a large canvas. Look at your thumbnails and run the checklist. Have you used the grid? Is the visual weight balanced? Are there clear leading lines? Does negative space serve the subject? When you can confidently answer yes to those 4 questions, you have successfully designed your image with intent. Keep practicing your layouts and check out yaka.cc for more tools to refine your artistic technique.